Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. Every time. It gets better. It gets better. Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. Every time. It gets better. It gets better. Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. Every time. It gets better. It gets better. Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. Every time. It gets better. It gets better. Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. Every time. It gets better. It gets better. Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. Every time. It gets better. It gets better. Your love makes me want so much more. Use it for yourself. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around. It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
It's better.
Check, mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Your love makes me want so much more.
Good catch, Steve. I forgot about it.
Use it for yourself.
It gets better every time you're around.
Where's fine right now?
It gets better every time you're
It's fine.
around.
It's fine tonight.
It gets better every time you're around.
Every time.
It gets better.
Okay. We in? I heard you do that and I thought you were. Oh.
Let's get ready to capsule.
And we back.
We're back, and we're working.
We are working. This is episode what? 25?
Yeah.
25. Can you believe that? Look at how we looking, man.
I'm Shy Born Infinite,
And I'm Godson Tony.
and we are the Ill Mind Capsule.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And it's a great day, man.
It's a great day.
How you doing?
I'm great. You know, I'm constant elevating. Oh, you know that was coming, bro.
Yeah, it was coming.
I only want for my brother what I want for myself. So how's everything with you? How's your week?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Can't complain, man. You know, I stay blessed.
Right. You got a glow. I see a glow on you. Like, seem relieved. You know?
I'm very relieved. I'm at peace, actually.
That's peace. The absence of peace is what? Confusion. So
Man,
give it up for
listen.
that. Definitely.
So,
This is a specific month. Very grateful to have this month. It should be every day, every month. But it's Women's Month. So we just want to give shouts out to all the mothers, sisters, aunts, cousins, ancestors, those women that
celebrating
are
women.
we celebrate our women. Give them their flowers while they're here.
You know, celebrating women, but more specifically, the title for today's show is Celebrating Women in Business.
Right.
You know, and we got a special guest today, too, but she's going to come in shortly. But yeah.
So where should we start with the women in business? I mean, so many.
Man, there's so many, man. We before the show, we sat here breaking it down, just coming up with names. Like, you know, it got to a point where we had to break it up into fields. Like, you know, like.
Well, you know, I think we should start maybe with our first lady. Well, our vice president.
No, I think you should save that for the drop the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, save that
Okay.
for the drop the mic.
That's the.
That's you know.
So I want to give salutes to Rihanna.
Rihanna.
You know,
We
at
know
the
that's
top
the
of-
music realm.
at
That's the music
Yeah,
field.
at the
Like,
top of her game.
I mean, but when you came up with that, I thought Beyonce.
Right.
When you said Rihanna, but what category are you even talking about, first of all?
Well, we're talking about music. Women.
Yeah, but when you said women in music, are we talking the most established? Are you talking like
No, just
who's the richest?
most wealthy.
The most wealthiest.
Yeah.
But you see, I thought that was Beyonce.
Well,
In pop music.
if they if they looked at her by herself and without her illustrious husband, you know, it may be a different thing. But
So wait. So you trying to tell me that
Rihanna's a
Rihanna
billionaire.
has? You trying to tell me Rihanna has Beyonce beat
1.7
1.7?
billion. A billy.
Shout out to Rihanna.
Salute,
And
salute.
she's you know what? Congratulations to Rihanna.
Not even that it's competition. I want to see
Congratulations
everybody
to
on top.
Rihanna. She's expecting soon.
All right, expecting. She got the
She got married.
Fenty thing, or
Yeah.
you know, Savage Fenty. It's
Yeah.
called. She's in business. She's doing
She's doing really
She's
good.
handling her business.
She's taking care of her business.
Right.
Like she should. Shout outs to that. So I mean, that was
As well
music.
as Beyonce. Thanks for
as
bringing
well
her
as
up.
Beyonce. But
Yes.
you see, thanks for that, bro. Like, see, I thought Beyonce.
I did too, but after research, I said, wow.
Okay, so that's the music, right?
Right.
So when it comes to TV and media, who do we have?
Of course, it's Oprah.
I mean,
You know,
why did I even
we ain't
ask?
even gonna stun on.
Why did I even
anybody
ask?
And put
Why
her,
did I even ask?
put her business
She's
out
the
there.
queen of media,
Right.
You know, like, and she has a story too. You know,
Yeah.
she came a long way.
Came a long way,
Yeah.
and she's still at it.
I mean, but there's other women in media too.
Oh yeah, well, we did discover that.
You know, shout outs to Wendy Williams. Hopefully she'll get
Wendy
back to
Williams.
work. Get back to work soon. You know.
Yeah,
Who else? I mean, okay, so yeah, we also
on the Forbes list, 1.6 billion. This is technology and media, but Sheryl Sandberg.
isn't that the
billion.
Facebook lady?
Yeah, she is the
Facebook,
CEO
the
of Facebook. She was vice president of Google. She's doing big
The
business.
vice president of Google and the CEO of Facebook
Yes.
at the same time? COO of Facebook?
Well, back to back, not at the same time.
Okay, gotcha. Just trying to get that clear.
Yeah, she's
1.6 billion.
Women don't like to tell her age, but she's
She,
for the money that she has, she's represented.
I'll say it. She's 49 years old.
Well, look, if she,
I mean, that's
if
good.
she calls the show
Listen,
up and she asks for
1.6.
Godson,
Listen,
I'm gonna say,
Listen.
here you go. I'm not playing with no woman's age in it.
listen. I mean, it's just her age.
All right.
But
Don't ask for backup, sir.
But I mean, 1.6 billion. At
No, we congratulate her.
at 49.
Yes.
That's very, very.
She's done well for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very impressive.
And
Who else? I mean, Francois Betancourt Myers.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's happy.
Oh,
If anyone doesn't know
listen.
who that is the heiress of L'Oreal.
I don't even know.
That company's been around as long as I've been here.
I don't even know what sound effect to give that, but you know,
Something that sound like 74 billion.
something that sounds like 74 billion, right?
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll. What we got here?
Yeah, I do feel dumb next to 74 billion. If I had 74 billion, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't. What?
But
what
she's
I'm-
the Harris, right?
right.
Yeah, like so she inherited that from her mother who passed away when.
I think I like having friends though. Like 74 billion. My circle would be so small. I'm saying I don't even want to FaceTime nobody.
You know, you probably get an island somewhere, right?
I think they trying to get me to drop the Addy or something. Like mess around and see a box.
Why don't you just go to Mars?
I'll be on my way. You know, I'm
Oh,
gonna invite you over, bro, for Mars. Dinner on Mars.
So Francois Betancourt
Betancourt.
Myers,
Myers.
the richest woman in the world,
Yeah. Number one.
number one.
We applaud.
You know what? She,
Not just because she's rich and she's done, but she's elevated in her class.
I mean, but she inherited.
She
that.
inherited,
Yeah.
but you know what?
But it's still family. It's still-
harder
it's
to
still-
keep the money. Mm-hmm. You can
Still gotta pay-
squander the money.
Yeah, you
Like,
still
if it-
gotta
If it
probably
just
gotta
falls
be
in your lap.
responsible.
You got to be responsible. You have to, Now we'll check back in a couple of years and see if she's still on top, and then we know she's handling her business.
Well,
You mentioned top of the class, and this isn't necessarily. I think they are at the top of their pay rate, but Venus and Serena,
oh yeah. I mean, if we're talking about celebrating women in business, like when we talking about sports,
Yeah.
they've dominated sports. you know?
Dominant.
Like their story is just it's classic. Like
Right.
they even got a Netflix that whole Netflix movie with Will Smith
Oh, right,
playing
right,
the
yes.
father.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, Listen, man, there's a lot of notable, and we're not even going back in time. Like, we're not going
Right.
back in history because that was the whole premise when we first did the research. You know, like we saw like pictures from back in the day, like Mother Bethune or
Mary McLeod Bethune.
Bethune, yeah. So it was a lot of
Betty
classics,
Shabazz,
yeah, that we could have brought up.
Coretta
But
Scott King.
now we're speaking about now,
Right.
like modern women. We're not even modern. We're just celebrating women like
Currently.
current. 'Cause
Right.
I don't want to use the wrong words.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's
gotta
why
be-
we're here for each other.
Yeah.
Because I don't want, when she calls you about the age thing,
Oh shucks.
they're gonna
Yo,
say,
dude, you better
but-
be there.
But
you know.
the other handsome young man that was sitting next to you, he was on best behavior, and we appreciate him.
So yeah. So you ready to drop the mic?
Well, we can't go do this type of service without. It would be a disservice for us not to salute Kamala Harris, our vice president, especially at a time like this, holding her composure, supporting where she can support, and it's not easy being in that
But you
position.
can't. If you're gonna celebrate her, you can't forget Michelle Obama.
Well, of course.
Come on, what we doing?
In my lifetime, I never thought I was going to see a black first lady,
Hey, me too.
and I never thought
I
I'd see
never
a
thought
black
I'd see
vice president.
I never thought I'd see a black president
So that's a 2 for 2,
and a black first lady too.
right? So support you, salute you, ladies. We're here for your support.
I mean, this is good. Like we never when we thought about it, I never thought that we'd go deep into the rabbit hole to really dig up some stuff and really do some research.
Right.
There's other stuff that we could have covered.
Right.
Yeah.
We gotta give due. We gotta give back. Salute to our mothers.
You
know.
You know what, bro? You already know.
Right. That
They're
connection is another
probably
connection.
somewhere having a conversation right now on the other side,
Right.
watching this capsule.
Maybe they're having a podcast.
Maybe they having a podcast where they
They linked up and everything. It's like,
Right now, yeah.
our sons is doing that.
Yeah.
We can't let them outdo us.
Who knows what's going on? But you know
Love you,
what?
Mom. Yeah.
So on that note,
right.
that's my brother. Yo.
Right.
A few more minutes. I mean,
Yes. Thank you, Frozone. We always there's the positives, and then there's also when we take losses. And we want to take a moment for those not just currently or in the last few days, but those who have fought the fight and succumbed to the fight through violence. We have a lot of work to do. We're supposed to be here to protect our women, and those who don't look at women as a diamond and not just diamonds in the rough. These are our shining gems, to appreciate them. One specifically that happened recently, succumbed to the battle of cancer, Tracy Braxton.
yeah.
To her and her family, to her family, the Braxton family, we give our hearts. And for anybody else who've succumbed to cancer or even COVID at this time.
Yeah, my mom, I know what that feels like.
Right.
My mom transitioned from cancer.
Mine too. Yeah. We have that connection.
Yeah, and that wasn't easy to deal with. And I still get triggered. That's what a lot of people don't even understand. It's like, I still get anxiety and I still get PTSD.
Right.
Like last week, I was triggered all last week. I had a few incidents that triggered me.
Right.
But, the way I deal with it is just keeping my composure through everything and just not forgetting who I am.
Right.
and what I stand for and what values I stand for. I mean, I came a long way to transform who I am. You see what I'm saying? From what I had to, or who I thought I had to be to survive in a wild jungle by myself at the age of 16. Being out here by myself. See, but now I'm an old man. You know, I don't have to think like a young man no more. I could put those young ways away and step into, new values.
Right. I think the ultimate transition, other than, going to the next life, is transformation. So the ultimate transition is to transform.
So,
if you're
yeah.
able to acknowledge that you need to transform, or there's some weights on your shoulder, there's some.
But you see, it's all how you deal with those things that trigger you.
Right.
That puts you into anxiety, that puts you into that mode. Because hey, listen, I never knew what anxiety was till I knew that this was the last time I was going to be hearing my mom's voice on the phone. That's when anxiety.
Well, it's
showed.
only been 2 years for me, so
Dude, it's been like 3 years for me.
right,
What are you talking about?
Right. So, but it felt like yesterday, and so that means that I deal with it day by day, inch by inch, second by second, minute by minute. But she knows that. But she also knows that don't spend all your time putting all this energy into me.
That's powerful. Cause yeah,
Pick your feet up.
yeah.
Let's see some
Listen,
movement.
I hear that all the time too.
Right.
I hear that all the time. So we definitely connected, bro.
So once again, just shout out and our ultimate support. Our hearts go out to those women this month, next month, and any month.
All the time.
All the time.
And on that note, Fro, dirty souls.
Frozo.
Frozen.
We're back.
And we
we're
working. I'm God said Tony.
I'm Shyborn Infinite.
And we have our special guest.
Hi, I'm Desiree Hadley.
Thank you. That's powerful.
Welcome to the Ill Mind Capsule.
Welcome to the
Thank
Illmind
you.
Capsule.
Thank y'all for having me. Thanks for inviting me on
Yes.
the show.
Now, before we before we get into your conversation, I said right before we went to commercial, I said I wanted to, come back and say something about Spencer real quick. I want to acknowledge Spence, Frozo, live on air too,
Okay.
because he's come a long way with the show. Like when we first
And he's
started,
been here since
and
the
he's been
beginning.
here since beginning.
Yeah.
And it's not easy handling those boards and operating that OBS. And he took it on, and he's doing a great job.
Thank you.
Now, you're welcome, buddy. Now,
Salute to you, Frozen, and your mom.
and your mom. So last week, reason why
Someone knows my mom.
I know his mom very well.
Yeah.
Reason why I'm bringing this up is because, as frustrated as we get sometimes in trying to get stuff perfect, I found myself behind a switchboard last week, Wednesday.
Right.
You remember that text. And, I felt the stress and the anxiety that he might have been feeling, and, operating the switchboard.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really hard, but you know, when you're just getting accustomed to new buttons and a different machine and stuff like that, you don't want to mess up while you're live.
Right.
So, I mean,
So
I think,
there's a level of stress and
Yeah.
anxiety.
and just trying to get it right, you know, trying to be perfect.
Well,
And
we
I- and
strive
I-
for perfection.
And I saw myself in that moment, and I saw who I could have been on the show when, you know, I was telling Spencer, you know, get it right. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, I saw who I was being in that moment, and I text him. I text you and him in that moment, and I apologized.
I thought about it too. I said, you know, we probably all been guilty because no one sat in that hot seat. So when you put me on, I did say, you know what? He does go above and beyond, and we don't know what it's really like to be in that.
Yeah. So shout out to that. You know,
Shout out, Frozo.
You got something to say?
No, I was
about
gonna say, and then it's technology. Anything could go wrong.
Anything
Yes.
go wrong.
Anything could go wrong.
Yeah.
So in any given moment.
So we have to appreciate even the small people around. Spencer's not small.
You just keep getting yourself in trouble.
He's not small. He's not small. Let me take that back. The people around us that we think play even
Behind
if
the
the
scenes.
behind the scenes and the little roles that or the roles that we consider small or little or insignificant, you know, we have to like acknowledge that,
Yes.
you know. So thank you for that, Spencer.
You are welcome.
Yes. So now that we got that out the way, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing okay.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
Nah, well, you're welcome. I saw her Instagram, and I was going through her Instagram, and I saw that she, you know, she had a lot going on. Black business, doing media, podcast with the mayor. I'm like, And I said, you know what? She got to come on the show and have a conversation with us. So thank you for taking the invitation and being here with us.
You're welcome. Thank you
So,
for having me.
Well, you go, Miss Hadley.
so would you like to introduce yourself, or do you? Well,
Y'all, I don't. I don't really feel
Desiree, Miss Desiree Hadley.
Yes.
Yes, that's your name.
Yes.
So who are you in Newark?
I'm just.
Like, what do you do? You're a black business entrepreneur.
Okay, so I'm Desiree. I have my own blog site. It's like I call it a Blogazine, so it's like an online magazine.
Okay.
Basically called Urban Girl Magazine.
Okay.
And last year I produced our first Black business crawl. And yeah, so the reason why I decided to do that is because I like to support Black-owned businesses, right? Because I think they need as much support as possible.
Okay.
So I decided to do that, start reviewing them on my blog TikTok. And I noticed I was trying to get into the TikTok space, and I noticed the videos that got the most traction, most views, most comments were Black-owned businesses locally. So people were interested in like wanting to find more Black-owned establishments they could support. They were like shocked to find out there's a local Black-owned nail salon, there's a local Black-owned seafood spot. Like they were just shocked. So people from like, I even got comments from like Chicago, Philly, like New York. I'm coming to Jersey, you know, just to come and support.
So now you see why I said it's so I couldn't have. That would have been a lot for me to introduce you or whatever. So that's why I said who, like, you know, and
I think a perfect word for her, what she did is she became a conduit. Because how many times you went on a vacation and you went to a place and you were just going into Google.
Right.
And we're
Or
just
Yelp.
going into Yelp or whatever. But to have first knowledge of someone who's actually ate there, that's of your culture, and you know, that weighs heavy with me. Like I'm a pescatarian, so if another pescatarian says, and then if another Black pescatarian says it was good, I'm like, okay, on this spot, because that's 2 against 1. You know what I mean?
Right.
But versus Yelp, pescatarian or vegan restaurants. Now I got 10 to choose from. I got 10 shots, and I might pick the wrong place. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then it's trial and error too.
Yeah.
No, but you took on the trial and error, some of the trial, so that others wouldn't have to go through
Right,
the trial.
right. And then I felt like I try to find something good something that I like about the business, even if like, all right, this probably wasn't that great, but the service was great. You know what I'm saying?
So almost like doing a review or something.
Yeah, like a review.
Okay.
So I started doing that. Started to build traction on TikTok because I was like, at first I was like, TikTok. My daughter uses TikTok. Like, what can I do? Like, I gotta get on there, but I'm like, what do I do? But I noticed that started to bring a lot of attention to the page. So I was like, why don't I do this in person so people can come together, go to different businesses together, shop, and intentionally spend their money because Black-owned businesses have a hard time getting capital. They have a hard time to, getting customers to return. Not all the time, but sometimes it's hard for Black-owned.
We're taking notes, sis. You might see an Illmind Capsule TikTok near you.
You already know.
Yeah, y'all should take those, those sound bites and put them on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, you did 7 reviews of
Yes.
7 businesses in Newark, except for one that was in Elizabeth. I
Yeah,
believe,
so the crawl happened in December. We went to 7 Black-owned businesses.
Okay.
One was in the Jersey Gardens Mall, and the other 6 were in Newark. So we
Okay.
went to each business. We went to a bookstore. We went to Source of Knowledge. We went to we went to Boss Blend Coffee. We went to the Sister Shop in Jersey Gardens Mall. We went to the Newark the ice skating rink by Miss Baraka.
Okay.
Miss Linda Baraka, First Lady.
Yeah, I remember that.
We went to
Winter.
Winter Village. Yeah, we went
Village,
there.
yeah.
We went to Brown Mill. We went to Plantivia.
Shout out to
we
Brown
went to,
Mill.
Yeah, we went to, yeah, and everyone shopped. And it was like right before Christmas, right before COVID came back too. So that was good. So it was like right before Christmas, and people was shopping, like buying gifts, buying like just buying stuff, and like happy to support. So that was a huge success. So I'm doing a second one in the summer. But aside from that, I work for the mayor's press office. But make it clear, I ain't no boss down there. I don't want nobody who Desiree thinks she is. Look,
Gotcha.
I'm just Desiree.
So,
So the next question is: you are assist with the Mayor's Media and Podcast. Can you
Yeah.
speak on your role with that and where we could find the podcast?
So the podcast is on SoundCloud. It's on soundcloud.com/Razin60. We are working to get it back on other platforms. All the other, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're working to get it there too. It should be there soon. And you can also find it on YouTube and then on the City of Newark's Facebook page. We
Nice.
play it live on every first Tuesday night. It comes out live. The new episode.
and this podcast is like every month.
Yep, once a
Okay,
month.
Once a
It's
month.
just the City of Newark.
So it's facebook.com/City of Newark. Yeah.
So what is some of the stuff that you guys cover in the podcast? I mean,
So because the local news, we talk about that, what's coming up in the city, events people can attend, and then we have people on who are like, important in the community. Like we had on Superintendent Roger Leone, we've had on Patrick Council, the director Patrick Council. We had on recently we did our women's episode for the month of March. We had on Alpha Demolash and we had on Simone Gordon, and these are 2 women who are like doing great things, for the community. So Alpha is the CEO and founder of Rising Tide Capital, and Simone Gordon was a philanthropist helping women all around the U.S.
Good.
So it was we talk about stuff like that, community-based stuff, things that people should know about, like talk to people who can share some great information.
Yeah,
and we've had some local business owners on it
yeah,
too.
I caught some where y'all had some nice guests too, like some notable guests.
Right.
I think y'all had like a producer up there or something. Was it Jerry Wonder or somebody up there?
Oh,
Or was
not
it
Jerry.
not Jerry Wonder? It was somebody.
Is it Robert Kubel? He's a singer from Kool and the Gang.
Cool in the
Talking about-
Gang.
Okay.
We
Yes.
had Sway on too. Sway
Yes.
from MTV.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
like before COVID. We had
Wow.
Sway on. That was huge. That was fun.
Yeah, that was.
That was hard to get him on here too.
So
But-
we hear you have some big goals you would like to achieve. Would you like to share any of those goals with us?
Like in 2022. I know you're talking about some big goals that you know.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I can share that. Wait, before I move on to the podcast, I just want to say, it's great working for the mayor. He's very intelligent,
Thank you.
I
Please
enjoy
elaborate.
it.
Listen.
Give it up for the
Yeah.
mayor.
Let us
Yeah.
get in.
And his wife, Linda, we heard you shout her out.
From that.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
Because I had a few questions about that too. Like, what is it like working with the mayor?
He's very, very intelligent. I mean, I feel like and I'm not just saying this because I work for the city, but he's one of Newark's best, I feel like, best leaders I've seen thus far. So it's it's really good. You learn a lot, and you're busy a lot, but I
And it's
enjoy
all
it.
about community, like, you know,
All
getting
about
the
community.
work done. You know, so
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, to the next question, what are your big goals outside of like personal big goals?
So with I have 3, right? I think I was talking about that. We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I have 3 for this year that I want to do with Urban Girl because I'm really trying to scale it, grow it,
Well,
and
before you move forward, like over here, we tend not to use the word try
okay.
because it's my mentor always told me
We aspire to do things.
yeah, it's either you do or you don't.
That's
Right.
true.
So
So I will.
yeah,
Okay.
we will get
You're
it
your
done.
own obstacle. If you put yourself in
true.
your
We'll
way,
get it done.
That's true.
then it won't happen.
One way or
That's
another,
true.
we're gonna get it done.
That's true. I agree with that.
And if you need support, we here.
Yeah.
All right. So you
All right, so I aspire, and I will get this done. So
Yeah.
one of the big things I want to do this year is I want to release a Urban Girl beauty box, which is if you go on the Urban Girl Mag page, which is on Instagram, you'll see currently I'm promoting it. I'm accepting unique beauty items to include in this box. Of course, Black owned is always, preferred, but if not, that's great too. So I'm releasing that this summer.
Okay.
I have a few, great young women who are interested in being a part of that.
Okay.
So then the second thing I want to do, of course, we're doing the second Black business crawl. It will happen in July. And we're visiting a total of 7 businesses locally,
Okay.
Black owned, and it's going to be right before Black Business Month, which is in August. So it's going to be that last weekend in July. So that's coming up. And then my third big goal, which is what I'm working on also with Urban Girl, is I want to release a print issue finally.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
Yeah. So I want to do a print issue. I want to have it's going to be annual starting out, and then I want to grow it to be quarterly.
Okay.
Okay.
So is it Urban Girl? Is it currently digital right now?
Yes. So everything is digital with urbangirlmag.com. It's a digital blogazine. So it doesn't look like a traditional magazine, but it's a website / blog / media outlet.
Shout outs to that.
Big shots. Shot.
So how could we get like some, a page in there or something like a little ad or something? We'll talk about that later.
Definitely.
We definitely support the movement. We see it's Urban Girl, but that's why we that's how we birthed the Ill Mind Capsule. Is we said, what resources do we have? And we have multiple resources amongst everyone that's involved in the Ill Mind Capsule, but some of our resources would never come in contact with the other resource unless we're the conduits. And that's why I said you were a conduit. You made yourself present so that other people knew that you were a lighthouse or a beacon. So now I can look and say, well, this person has been there. Let's try it. Right. And if that person leaves something on the blog, then there's a trail now.
Right.
It's tracking. So if you need us, we want to be one of your resources also. We're here. We're offering it.
Okay. Yes, we could definitely collaborate on that.
Nice.
That'd be dope.
So next question: being a mother of 2, and
Yeah.
also being an entrepreneur in daily hustle and bustle, running around, what are some of the challenges?
There's a
that
lot
you
of
face?
challenges being a mom. I think one of the biggest ones is like time management. I think time management is like difficult, you know?
Okay.
Because at any given moment, especially I have a 2-year-old, so any given moment, if she feels like she's not in the mood today, she's not in the mood today. Or I can't predict when she's gonna get a cold, or she's
not
gonna
having it.
Yeah. Or I cannot predict when she's gonna get a cold, or you know what I'm saying, or
Right.
not feel good. So I think time management is like the most challenging part.
Okay.
Yeah. And being a mom and like learning how to balance that, and then the time you spend away when you're working, that mom guilt that happens, like, oh, I wish I could be home. And then when you're home, you're like, am I doing enough? Like, it's just a lot.
So how do you balance, or what do you put in place to deal with that? Like, to help manage
You
that.
have a system.
Yeah, I think that the biggest help I have is, my family and
support,
her dad's family and my family and her,
Gotcha.
her grandmothers, both grandmothers. Shout out to both grandmothers.
Yes.
If
Shout
it
outs
wasn't
to
for either one of them, it would be impossible. So
And historically, women have been the best managers of time. So for you to give the props or to give the big up to your elder grandmothers and mother, which learned that from their mothers, right? And you'll pass down to your 2-year-old daughter, and that'll be a continuum. For those out here watching the show, this is very important. I think we had a show one show ago, and we talked about legacy building. This is how the seeds are planted. This is how you continue your legacy and trim and prime and elevate that legacy so that you can make sure that when you have passed and transition, that it still is a legacy. And we're responsible as long as we got breath in our lungs, and I see that with you. You present well. We salute your endeavors and things that you're doing. Where we go next? We have
So during the COVID, I don't even know if we're still in COVID or not. I mean, are we? Because it's kind of weird, they stopped talking about COVID now. They're
in
talking
New
about
York,
the war.
there's this
they talking about the
.2 thing,
but it's not on the news anymore. Nobody's talking.
is.
It's more focused on Ukraine and
No, there's
Russia.
an Omni something part 2. So it's getting overshadowed by the Ukraine. So we still have to protect ourselves.
You still got to protect yourself. Still got to mask up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know we all face some challenges, and as a woman, young black woman in America, I know even dealing with 2 children, and that might have been a lot. What are some of the tips that you can give young black women that might be going through something or just having a hard time dealing with life right now?
with like COVID and everything.
COVID and just the anxiety,
Just
and
surviving
the
the
surviving, just navigating.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard. I would just say, just try to keep a clear head and write things down and be calm. Meditate, pray. Write down what you really want to focus on and focus on that, because you don't want the outside world to cloud, your goal or to get in the way of you achieving your goals.
Gotcha.
Just stay focused. That's
Health
basically
and
what I
wealth.
just-
I hear you. I mean, because even through COVID, for us as men, I know we had our own little support system where it's like we check in on each other and making sure, like, yo, you got food? Are you breathing? You alive? Like, it was times where when I felt like I had something, guess what? Like, the community was there for me, like,
Right.
making sure that, I was taken care of and stuff like that. And I got my test, shout outs to, no, I'm not even gonna mention their names, but shout outs to the shout outs,
Right. Shout outs for the shout outs. Shout outs.
Shout outs to the shout outs. So,
What do you think is missing in the urban community here in Newark?
In Newark, what's missing as far as like,
Community wise, what
I think Newark
supports?
has a lot of culture and like arts. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of artists. A lot of collaboration happens in Newark. I like that. But what's missing? One thing I've always wished Newark had more of is like the nightlife type of situation. Like
I mean, we used to, but then,
well, like
I think we
when
got
I say
carried
that,
away with
yeah.
having too much fun.
But I guess when I say it, I mean like, how you
young.
can kind of like walk, or you could like go to like Jersey City or Hoboken. You could
New
walk
York.
to like New York.
Yeah,
You could
man.
go walk down the street and it's like 10 different places.
And me being from New York, I'm from the Bronx, but a lot of what you'll see is if you have a metro city, all surrounding cities, there's land and there's possibilities and opportunities. But if they were to expand and Newark is the next hotbed, right? It would take away from the New York life.
That's true.
So you'll go to somewhere like Louisiana, and there is Mardi Gras in that area. And there's so much Shreveport, and there's other places that have that culture. What's that type of music? It's like blues, but it's a think Minister Farrakhan used to play that. Zydeco, right? They have Zydeco in those areas that some of the originators are still there.
Wow.
You know, but it gets overtaken by the fact that Mardi Gras is in New
And
Orleans.
it's like this huge place, and
Right.
it has all of the marketing dollars, and people know about it.
But it's the grassroots organizations, the Black Women's Run, the Illmind Capsules, the I forget the name of your
Black Business Crawl.
Black Business Crawl. These grassroots organizations start the conversation for bigger conversations.
You're right about that. Yeah.
Due to being lackability. Like you said, it's a good question you asked. It said, well, what would you change about the community? Well, nightlife could change an upgrade. It could take an upgrade.
I mean, but that's something.
Because I heard Montclair used to be popping.
Montclair used to be popping too.
Right,
Mine
was
was-
that because
I
that
feel
was a
like
college area?
I don't know. I feel like Montclair more now is like more a place you go to eat, like you know, like you know, more restaurant.
now.
But they used to have a few. I don't even know about one club honestly out there.
I
I
mean,
think they got a jazz club out there. It had trumpets or something like that,
yeah.
right? So that's
And
Now,
Newark,
though.
Newark used to have a great nightlife.
right.
Like, you know, up until some point, you know, I mean, once they started ending like around 2:00, it kind of like dwindled down a little bit.
Yeah, I did club promotion for like 10 years. And one thing that statistically I looked at doing it in New York, I said, well, we close at 4 or 5 in the morning. So even if someone wanted to, and ethnically, Black people come out and party late. Africans even later. But so you could actually go to a party in Jersey City or Newark or surrounding areas, Union County, and still get to New York and still party. But now due to
Now, COVID,
and I mean just
you gotta be in the house by like 10:00.
shutting things down at 2:00. Or how was it later
I mean,
than 2
now
before?
now it's back to, I think it's back to 2:00 now.
What was it, like 4 o'clock before?
Oh no, back in the days it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in
Wow.
the morning. But then you know the
A lot of
vibe-
after hours spots.
New Jersey has a lot of what is it called?
They still
Tough
got
liquor license
after
laws
hours.
though. That's the issue too.
Yeah.
The liquor license law. That's one of the main like barriers to us having like more like lounges, bars, and stuff. Liquor licenses are so expensive and they're
Right.
hard to get. So
And I think there was a hold on them. They weren't releasing any new ones, right?
yeah.
So
it
you
was-
pretty much had to buy into a spot that already had one. Or,
and then that could be super expensive.
Big business.
I think I was reading this article, and I think it said something like that Cheesecake Factory that opened in Livingston
Okay.
paid like I want to say it was like over $2 million for just for the liquor license.
Wow.
So if and just to open right there.
Wow. Yeah, the
because it was
location.
so hard to
Yeah.
get. That's how much it was going for, and of course Cheesecake Factory could afford it. You know.
Of course, yeah.
It's big money because when we used to do parties and stuff, the bar guarantee was like 10 grand, right? And we talking about 10 grand. We're not talking about your 25 to enter the party, but we would get like our cut, and it still would be exorbitant amount. And I'm talking about people only really drank for 3 hours. So we talking about bottle service with our community. They are really going in at $250, $300,
Right,
$400 a
$300
bottle.
Wow. Yeah.
So you can get the 10 grand in 2 hours.
Right.
Wow.
With 200 people.
Yep. 2 bottles, that's
Right,
500.
right.
4 bottles, that's 1,000.
Give it up for those in the nightlife.
Well,
No, just be careful out there, guys. Get the
don't
money.
drink and drive. That's
Definitely
all.
don't do that.
And have a responsible buddy with you. And try not to get into quarrels and arguments with your friends.
Have enough money for Uber.
That part.
This one up.
That part.
Right.
So what do you feel like we excel in Newark? Like, I mean, we spoke
We
about
excel in, I think, a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think Newark is like, and I think with the leadership we have with the mayor and like people we put in place, I mean, we are just setting a trend on a lot of for urban cities when it comes to the way we approach, or not we, but the city approaches policing, you know, and with the way the city
Thank you for
was
touching on
able to eradicate, basically, you know, probably not the right word to say eradicate, but solve the lead water crisis, and not crisis, but the lead water problem in Newark, you know, with replacing lead pipes, throughout the city
the old lead
for
pipes.
free, for residents for free. You know, it wasn't free to do, but for the cost to residents was zero.
Yeah.
You know, and it
Somebody
was-
had to pay for it. But
Yes.
Not on
but
the
it was
resident.
done in like record time, you know. So I think that we excel in a lot of things. I think that we excel in culture because I see a lot of people who move to Newark from Brooklyn, from Harlem, because I feel like Newark still has that urban, black cultural like essence about it.
That
you know,
organic realness.
Yeah,
Like,
that I'm not gonna say you don't find it there anymore, but a lot of those cities are becoming more and more gentrified, you know?
right. Even
So,
Harlem. Harlem is
yeah,
different. The
it is.
Renaissance is, those who know the history. But when you go there now, you are liable to see people that are not exactly in your demographic.
Right.
And
Yeah,
there's nothing
everything
wrong
is-
with that.
everything is-
Growth
yeah.
is, you know,
Growth
one
is good,
Yeah.
growth
but I
is
feel
good.
like one thing, when Newark keeps that authenticity, I feel like, you know, over
yeah,
the
that
years.
spirit,
Yes,
that
yes.
original
And that's one thing
spirit.
I just love
yeah.
about Newark. You know, it's just, and it's so cultured, so much art here, creativity. So, my boyfriend say I love Newark too much. You love this city, you don't ever move. I do want to
Where's
move,
he from?
but
Where's
from
he
Newark.
from? Oh,
from
okay.
Newark. But I'm
That's
like,
good.
I think Newark is dope. I don't know. I just do.
I mean, so if you had one place to move outside of Newark, what would it be?
Probably another urban city, maybe Houston, LA.
Okay. Okay.
Houston, LA. LA is nice because it's by the water, and you got the pretty palm trees.
Yeah.
It's
you're right.
creative as well. A lot of
Go to
creative
the
people.
beach.
Yeah.
I'll be at the beach all the time if
Right.
I was in LA. To close us out, who or what inspires you or inspired your journey?
Great question.
I would say I did write it down too, but I would say my children definitely.
Okay.
I would say those who came before me.
Yeah.
You know, my elders, my grandmother, my father. I know y'all were talking about your mom's passed away, and you know.
Please
That's
share, talk.
My condolences because I lost my father when I was 25, so that was tough.
And that's
You know.
a landmark age. That's a milestone age.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was 25 going on 26. So he, you know, his legacy inspires me as well because he did he worked. He was the hardest working person I ever knew. My dad had stage 4 lung cancer and worked
Wow.
until he couldn't work anymore. Literally gone through chemo, still going to work every day. Never complained about it. So that's always etched in my mind. Like that's why.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
why
like.
do our people? Well, I can't say why, but our people, we fight through a lot
do.
of pain, and we live with the pain and still push through with the pain. We
But
need
that
to.
very personification is what makes our DNA. That our DNA is more than just these squiggly lines. You got to understand that when we face obstacles, it's you and the obstacle, and I gotta win. I'm gonna win, and even if you succumb to that throughout the fight, those who watch that fight now have that DNA structure. So I understand exactly what she said. You know, when to lose him at that age, and now to plow through things, there's no obstacle too big. Sometimes the smallest obstacles are our biggest obstacles. See, the big wall, I'm gonna hop over that. It's gonna take me. I'm gonna have to go hard. But then it'd be the little pebble that you trip over.
Right. That you
Like,
didn't
what?
expect to
I
be
didn't
there.
see that. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So we even have that at times on the show, and we're like, what are we going to do? And there's times that we actually put the show together in a half hour because we learned how to depend on each other. And he said, well, it's not your 30 minutes. It's not his 30 minutes that we got to do it. It's not Frozone's 30 minutes. It's our 30 minutes. And we all just dig our hands in the soil, get our hands muddy. And those are some of our best shows. Yeah, so be thankful for community.
Yeah. Definitely.
And we thankful for you. For
Yes.
Definitely gracing us with your presence and your energy and just great conversation. And we would love to have you back whenever.
Okay, I would love to come back. But
Listen.
thank y'all for having me on the show.
Listen, this
Your
is
family
good.
now.
You know, this is good. So if you have stuff that you want to promote, like, you know, we spoke earlier, so we're definitely going to expand this conversation, and y'all going to be seeing more of her face, and yeah. more
Any
collaboration.
businesses out there that want to contribute to her cause of putting the boxes together, reach out to us. Reach out to her. You have a
Yes. You can email Urban Girl Media Group LLC at gmail.com if you're interested in being a part of the business crawl, the beauty boxes,
The
or
review?
Yes.
the reviews. If you
Yes.
want me to review your business, and also the printed issue that I'm planning now. But yep, if you want to be a part of that, email Urban Girl Media Group LLC at gmail.com. So, and the business crawl is almost done. I'm almost done securing all of the businesses. So we might be. If you want to be a part of that, it might be too late. You know, I've been telling y'all for over 2 months now. But, you know, everything else, if you want to be a part, collaborate, just email Urban Girl Media Group.
wake up.
Thank you.
Yep. And on that note, we are the Ill Mind Capsule. I am Gus Antoni,
Shop on Infinite.
and we have.
Desiree Hadley.
Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next show.
We'll be back next week.
My name is Dupre Kelly. We are now here in front of my headquarters, 998 South Orange Avenue, in the heart of the West Ward.